Guys, this is our 1998 Ford Ranger that we picked up from the junkyard for free. We're building this thing to race in Cleetus McFarland's Danger Ranger 9000 October 11th at the Freedom Factory. We have been struggling for the last 2 weeks to get this thing to fire up and run. And after 2 weeks, I figured out the fix in 5 minutes. So quick recap. We have a 1998 Ford Ranger that never had an anti-theft system. We have a 2006 3.0 engine out of a Ford Taurus that did have an anti-theft system. So we've been through several PCMs, several wiring harnesses, and all that good stuff, and the fix was absolutely simple. We pulled a PCM out of a 95 Mazda B3000 and paired it with the crank trigger off of the same 3.0 in the Mazda B3000. And then it's like magic.
This old bad hot rod runs, dude.
It runs badly.
It's pretty rough.
It definitely runs badly, but I think, because we're getting code for it, pretty sure this camshaft position sensor may be bad, but that's fine. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. The big thing is that after 2 weeks, we finally got the Taurus motor to fire up in the Ranger.
Have we said what caused it not to run?
We did. The PCM that I had, because of the anti-theft system, wouldn't communicate with this truck because this truck never had an anti-theft system. So I went through the whole process of trying to wire everything and make that work, and it didn't. So I ended up changing the PCM and the crankshaft crank trigger from the B3000, put it in here, started right up. I'm talking just in a second.
Yeah, and then we came in the next day, tried to fire it up again, and the fuel pump wasn't running.
It was giving me issues because I'd cut a bunch of wires. I cut a bunch of wires. We'll leave it at that.
Cut a bunch of wires, and we tried for hours to get the fuel pump running again.
Yep.
Turned out,
it was my fault.
It was something very stupid. It was
this wire right here was touching and grounding and turning everything off. So we figured that out. That's unimportant. That's going to be cut out. So we'll cut that back and won't have any issues. But this joker runs, which means, brother, we're to the point of getting ready to start driving this thing.
Yep. So we just need to put the cross member in for the transmission because right now it's just hanging out on a 2x4.
It is.
And we went and got a cross member today.
Got a cross member this morning. We got our drive shaft.
That needs U-joints.
It needs U-joints. And we have the 410 rear end to put in this thing. So, and we also have a new clutch master cylinder because there wasn't one in here because this was an automatic truck, but now it's a 5-speed truck. So we've got our transmission cross member that we can put in. We've got our 410 rear end we can put in. And we got our drive shaft we need to change U-joints in, but then we can put it in. And once we do that, and the clutch master cylinder, this joker ought to move under its own power.
Yep. We also need some wheels.
Do need some wheels. That's fine. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So, we're going to do next, go ahead and get this transmission cross member in here and get this joker to where the transmission will actually sit in the truck.
got the radiator in, bruh.
Radiators in, dog.
And the drive shaft.
And the drive shaft, complete with new U-joints.
That's right.
We have a minor problem.
Minor.
I bought some bolts that are a little bit too long, so we got to go get some of those, some shorter bolts, so it don't hit the rear end as the drive shaft spins. But we have a complete drive line from engine to rear end, complete with 410 gears, brother.
Which we should probably check the depth fluid in that.
Probably should. We'll check that before we drive it. But we've got a radiator, we've got an engine, we've got a 5-speed transmission, we've got a drive shaft, a 410 rear end, clutch pedal, brake pedal, gas pedal, which we have to put a throttle cable on.
But we got that.
We got that. But we're getting real close to being able to drive this thing for the first time. We just got to put on our throttle body gasket. We're gonna delete this EGR, actually. We're gonna go ahead and just pop that off and cap it off on the exhaust.
We don't need that.
Don't need it. So we're gonna take that off, and then it definitely sounds when the truck's running like we've still got a vacuum leak somewhere. So we gotta track that down. There are a couple lines we have to hook up from the intake to the brake booster, and then also from the intake to the little, I can't remember the name of the valve. It's a one-way valve on the valve cover. So no big deal. Get that figured out. Obviously, still have to clean up some wiring. But my guy, we getting real close to driving for the first time.
Yeah, we also need to put the bed back how it should be.
Gotta put the bed back. And, hey, I don't know if you noticed, but we got some flat tires on it, but we have wheels that match all the way around pretty much.
Except for that one.
Except for that one. I just gotta go get the tire put on it. But we gotta go back to town because we got to have a couple radiator hoses because the stock radiator hose, we didn't realize it, but apparently somebody cut that joker a little short at some point.
Yeah, and if we try to connect it, it touches that alternator.
Touches the
That's no
alternator.
bueno.
No. So we got to come up with a little something for that. No big deal, though. That's easy. And we got to come up with something for the lower radiator hose because that one had like several hoses that ran into it, but we're going to go with a straight hose because we don't need it. We don't have to have that. We don't have a heater core anymore.
Now we just need a hose that pumps water into the motor and then back to the radiator.
Back out. So we're looking really, really good. So we're going to run to town, grab those couple things, get back, try to wrap up all this stuff, get our clutch master cylinder put in, and we might get to see it move a little bit. It may not go very far, but we might get to see it move.
If it goes like 6 inches, I'll be all right. I'll be happy.
I'll be good because that's going to be a step in the right direction. This thing runs terrible, but that's going to be able to be fixed because it runs.
That's true.
I think I know what's wrong with it, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But we're going to run to town, get a couple things, get back. Hopefully we got some coolant to go through this. Hopefully we've got some coolant that'll go through this thing very soon. All right, guys, well, we got the radiator in, we got radiator hoses, we've got a 410 rear end, we have a 5-speed transmission completely bolted into the truck, all but the master cylinder, so the clutch doesn't quite work yet. We have spent an insane amount of time running parts this week, trying to find things that we didn't have, things that we needed and stuff like that, but we got the truck running, and it runs not great, but we know what's wrong with it. We actually have a cam sensor issue, so I've got one of those ordered. I called O'Reilly's, and that thing was $77 if they ordered it. But I found it on Amazon, and I got it for $16, but it's going to take it a couple of days to get here. But I think once we get that, that's going to take care of our run issue because this thing does just run rough, but it will fire up. So we are leaps and bounds ahead of where we were last week. And once we get that misfire issue figured out and we get this master cylinder thing installed, we should be able to take this thing on its very first test drive, which I'm super excited about. And so hopefully everything goes well with that. Hopefully this thing drives well. Hopefully it runs well. And hopefully we're getting to the point we can get a cage installed and start putting in our safety equipment. But guys, that is unfortunately as far as we're going to get this week. I know we didn't seem to get very much done, but we did make some progress. It's just been one of those things where it's just extremely tedious and extremely time consuming. But We made some progress, and that's good enough in my book. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you check out that one right there, because YouTube thinks it'll be the best thing for you to watch next, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything on the channel, and we'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.